Hi, this is Wes from W Farmstead. Almost forgot it. So um, we've already mowed one time with the new mowers, the 725D and the 400D. I kind of noticed, if Tanya will follow me back here and look this way, some of the wheels or some of the tires are kind of underinflated. Is if you can look at this 725, it's kind of sitting down this way a little bit. It's kind of sitting down this way a little bit. You know, it's slanting this way. And I went and looked, and it looks like the tires are not inflated properly. The stickers on the tires say 8 psi. So I'm going to go on and check these and make sure there's 8 psi in them. And then the ones in the back, I usually run 12 psi on those. Then what we'll do is we'll look at Tanya's 400D, and we'll take a look at that, or we'll take a look at that and see what their pressure is. What I'm using is, now they don't fund us, is these AstroAIs. These things are fantastic for checking pressure and stuff, and they go from 0 to 250 pounds. So it makes it nice to put it on here and just check the pressure. So I'm going to see what this one is. That one, believe it or not, is 8.3 pounds. So I can actually let a little bit out of it. 8.1 is good. That should have taken it down to 8. I bet this one over there is a lot more than that. So let's see what it is in a hurry. Ah, 12.5 pounds. So let's go on and let a bunch of air out of here. That's why it was uneven. $10.4. Wow. Whew, that air stinks. Nice thing about this AI is it's got that button to let air out of it. Okay, we're at 8.7, 8.4, 3, 1. All right, let's see if it evened it up a little bit. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Definitely a lot better. So kind of even the machine up from left to right. So let's go on and check these back tires. And like I said, I usually put 12 in these. That may not be right. There may be another. It's got 9.3. So I think I'll go on and take it up to, ooh, dang, that shot up to 14. Boy, it takes nothing to get that up. Okay, that was right at 12. Let's see what this one has. $10.4. Okay, got lucky on that. So let's check Tanya's. That one's bulging. This one's bulging a lot. Okay, so, wow. When you take a look at that, does that say 6 PSI? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this thing says to have 6 PSI. That's like, wow. So let's see what we got in it. Well, it's got 6.9. Usually I always see 8 on these. There we go. There's 6.1. By the time I pull that off, it's gonna, man, that just looks, look at that. It does, doesn't it? You know what? I think we may put 8 in it. What do you think? Look at that. It's starting to crinkle the tire. Creasing the tire in here. See that? I think we're gonna run 8. Recommended pressure of 6. Yeah. No, I think we'll do 8. Okay. There's 8. Boy, that's still kind of, it looks a little bit low, but doesn't look bad. So I usually stop at 8.1, which is what that one was, so that when I pull it off, you know, it generally goes down close to 8. So let's see what this one is.
Does that one say the same thing recommended?
Nope. Well, no. 7.3. Okay, there's 8.1. Okay. And of course, the front 2 are solid. So,
Thank goodness.
yep. So the other thing I was going to do was, since this was after the first time of mowing, we'll take and I'm going to put some grease into the spindles and into the front hubs on these. There's only 5 points to grease on this, each one of the spindles, and then the axles on the front tire, or the front tires here. So there's only 5 points on this one. This one over here has a lot more points. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on it. We got the rear tires we have to grease, okay? And then of course, we have the 3 spindles. And then we have the front tires up here, okay? Then going under here, we have the drive shaft that will pump a little bit of grease in. This drive shaft is right there. And then your pillow block, which has the drive shaft running through it. There's 1 pillow block grease point there. And then there's 1 pillow block grease point back here under this and there, okay? So those are the points that I'll grease on here. I wanna, on the pillow blocks, it's real important you don't over grease those. Usually I'll just do 1 shot, and that 1 shot will last for a while, but I usually do 1 shot, at the most 2. I hate to do 2, but I'd rather do 1, just because getting all that grease in there and everything in those pillow block bearings, they're exposed to a lot of your dust and everything else. I'd rather not have a bunch of grease on there. But the drive shaft, I'll put a couple of squirts, and then more than likely on the spindles, I'll probably put 5 squirts each. And the tires, I'll probably put 2 or 3 squirts each. I'll do that on all these. So And the other thing I want to do is I want to check the oil and stuff on these. Make sure we look good on the oil. Okay, so we're checking the oil on the big one. Since I had it started, clean it off and put it back in. I don't know if you can see. Kind of a little bit awkward to get into this. And we're right on the double lines. I don't know if you can see that. The line right there. It's exactly to that line. So I know a lot of people, I always clean it off before I put it back in. I'd rather not have any contamination or anything get into the engine. Okay, so that's good. Next thing I do is make sure that we've got our antifreeze in there. And that's pretty much it. Just, I want to do a first check on this because this is the first time in a while that, yeah, first time use. And then the other thing is I want to check the transmission fluid. So the transmission should be, from what I remember, warm is lower, or cold is lower, warm is the upper on that. I may be wrong, but okay. It's just over the lower. So that's good. And that daggone, this Hydrolife Grasshopper fluid, this stuff is expensive, buddy. Whew, it's expensive. It's like $26 a quart, something like that, 28 bucks a quart. It is expensive. Okay, so I did that check on here. I'm going to have to grease it in a minute. And then what I'm doing is the same thing on this one. On this. Okay. Okay, so it's right. You can see the hole. It's right there in that hole. So that's good. And I usually do check the oil before we use them every time. I always check the oil. And then check and make sure that we got the fluid. And then this one, right here, is the tank for the, wow, that's a little itty bitty. This is the area that you fill. And it looks like it's almost up. If you look down to that right there, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can take this and get it. But you've got a cold level right here. It's just a little bit below that, so I'm not going to mess with it right now. I'll just keep an eye on it. But that's the hydraulic fluid level on here. So let's go on ahead and put that back. Oh, helps if I do it right. Got to put that down, and then you put that through, and it locks the thing down. All right. So next thing I'm going to do is go on ahead and you know, it always figures whenever you go to, you want to add grease to grease ports. You got this much space in the whole tire, and it always seems like wherever you stop, grease zerk always ends up within that spot. Okay, so this one's fine to get into. That one's fine. Now I'm getting ready to put some grease in. I know some people are going to ask. What I always use is this Mystik JT6. It's the red Hi-Temp grease by Mystik. I've used that for 40 years going on. 35, 40 years. It's all I used was this in the other grasshoppers and the blade spindles and everything else. And I've never had a problem with the spindle, never threw a bearing, never did anything. This has always done great, but I always use it on all of it. I'll use it in the wheel hubs and I'll use it in the spindles and pillow block and everything. So, and no, we aren't sponsored by them at all. So something that these are just things that we use, and they're ideas for you, and you guys can always check them out. And if you want to use them, great. If not, then, great. It's totally up to you. You do you, basically. And I got to find my, there it is. Okay. Oh, no. Now we got to do what I literally hate. I got to change out the thing, which I'll end up getting so greasy it's unreasonable. Unbelievable. So we'll be back in a minute. You don't need to watch changing out grease. So you saw that I ran out of grease. Well, Tanya reminded me that she wants to get mowing sometime today. So I just grabbed the DeWalt this time. And from what I remember, I've got a newer thing of grease in here, so I should be okay with this and not run out. So I'm just going to go on ahead and put grease in here in each of these spots and on that, and then we'll go on ahead and get mowing. But this is what I wanted to show you on doing all this. I know you guys know the greasing and everything else, but was like the level of the mower with the tires. Your air pressure is crucial, making sure that both sides are the same so that you have a levelness to your deck when you're mowing, along with your deck being level too. So, but we got all the tires to a same air pressures and everything else. So we're pretty much ready with that. Our fluids are good, and then I'm getting ready to grease, and we're going to get mowing. So we appreciate you guys hanging around, and we'll have we'll kind of do a review on each one of these a little bit later on, our thoughts and our pluses and our minuses about things on them, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a good one. Take care.